Hi, this is Joe Serta, President of NAIFA-Indiana, and welcome to the October edition of NAIFA-Indiana This Month, your video newsletter. We have a very good lineup of guests today, so let's launch right into it. Joining us from New Albany, Indiana is Scott Waters, an attorney with Waters, Tyler, Hoffman, and Scott. Welcome to NAIFA-Indiana This Month, Scott. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Joe. Glad to be here.
You know, one of the important things to review with a client, and one of the issues most often overlooked, is designation of beneficiaries. Can you give us an idea of what you were talking about?
Absolutely. I appreciate that question, Joe. One of the things that I find with most clients, and of course these are mutual clients, they're the financial advisor's client, but when they come to my office, they're my client. They probably have a tax advisor, so they have another advisor. And what happens is between the advisors, they get different answers or different answers to their questions about their financial affairs regarding who will be the beneficiary of them when they pass away. One of the key issues that I find is, first of all, that financial planners and attorneys, whenever I can talk with attorneys, I tell them we need to work as a team, that the financial planner and the attorney and the tax advisor really need to triangulate with the client to make sure the client's wishes are accomplished. And one of the things that I find a lot of when I just ask a client in estate planning, who do you think your property is going to go to? And they say, well, I have a will, a last will and testament, so everything's going to go to them. And I say, well, that's true if everything is in your individual name. And they go, what do you mean in my individual name? And I say, well, it may be in your name, but there's such a thing as transfer on death law in Indiana. I might cite it for you all. It's 32-17-14-3 under the Indiana Code. And that section provides that you can transfer property by a written agreement, where you just say, I want it to go to Joe Blow, it's going to go to Joe Blow. And that's the designation of beneficiaries that you see in a lot of these investment contracts, insurance contracts, and other investment contracts. So it's real important that you coordinate the beneficiary designations on these different accounts. So I find that a lot of times the people don't even know who they have named. When I ask them to get a copy, they get online, they look it up, and they find that it doesn't really tell them. You have to call the company and finally get a letter and find that out. Now, you all as financial advisors have that information about your accounts, but you may not know about their other accounts. And I think it would behoove everyone involved, all the advisors, is to be aware of all the different accounts. Sometimes people have divided things with they have 3 children 3 ways, or I find in the Midwest, we love to give everything to one child and trust that they will pass it on. And of course, that has tax ramifications. It has ramifications if that first beneficiary is predeceased, who gets the property. So it's really important to analyze those beneficiary designations. The other thing that I find is that the person that usually fills these out is the financial planner with the benefit of the client. The client usually is only thinking about this as a financial transaction and not in the bigger picture of estate planning. So I would urge your members to help them think of the bigger picture, to coordinate with the attorney and with their tax person to look at these issues all at one time. The other thing that I might mention that we all don't want to think about is that for some reason we think we know when we're going to die, and we know when our loved ones are going to die. So I know I'm going to die first. I'm the male. I'm going to then leave everything to my wife. If she predeceases me in a car accident, then it's going to go to my 4 daughters. But we don't know if my daughter is riding in the car with my wife and I, and all 3 of us die. Then if we have named 4 children, the one child that's predeceased, the problem is, who does their share go to? And now we fall back not on Indiana law or any state law, we fall back on the contract language for designation of beneficiaries. And I would dare say that none of you have actually pulled from your legal department or your compliance department the full 25 to 40 to 50, I've seen some over 100 pages of detailed legalese on exactly how the beneficiary will pass. Some say it will go to the estate of that person. Well, my daughters all have children and they are minors, and then we're going to be ending up with those funds paid from the company to a minor, and of course that causes problems. So an alternative to naming individuals as beneficiaries is to use a revocable living trust to be named as the beneficiary, and then the beneficiaries can be changed in that trust without dealing with the company or multiple changes. You just deal with that in an amendment to the trust. So I might offer that as a suggestion to your members to think about suggesting that. I know that most attorneys are not very keen on revocable living trusts because they lead to probate. They do not lead to probate. And probate avoidance is really the state of the art now with clients and with financial advisors. A lot of people think, well, I have a will, I don't need to worry about that. Of course, you all know that a will is a ticket to probate. A will names a personal representative, but they have no authority whatsoever until a court signs and issues letters of administration giving that person authority. So with the revocable living trust, you name the trust as the beneficiary and the funds go in there, and then you can deal with minors, children underage, you can deal with special needs, you can deal with beneficiaries that are getting government benefits, all kind of variations on situations that we don't know will ever happen. You could say you have a healthy family, but changes happen. The older I get, at 66, I can tell you that I see people that have strokes and have other financial woes, and all of a sudden these things become real. So it's kind of important with your members to not just do what the client says at the moment, but to kind of slow them down and make them think of the big picture of where do they really want their funds to go to, and what are those individual circumstances. This might be a good time then, if there are issues, to refer them to a local attorney so that they can deal with those issues. So those are some of the problems that you can run into with beneficiary designations that I think are important for your members to keep, top of mind when they're dealing with their clients.
Thanks, Scott. That's great information for our members. If they have any questions, how can they reach you?
I'm here in southern Indiana, in New Albany, Indiana, and I'm with the law firm of Waters, Tyler, Hoffman, and Scott. And my email is swaters, WATERS, WTHSlaw.com. Or you can call me directly at 812-206-6047.
Thanks for your time, Scott. I know how valuable it is.
Well, thank you. I always enjoy talking about this issue. It's been one near and dear to my heart, a passion that I think people really need to pay attention to this. People are worried about dying and they seem to not want to deal with it, but the issues and problems they can leave their family can really cause huge difficulties, and it's really a blessing to pass on to your family a well laid out estate plan.
Thank you again.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful information that you gave us. We are now joined by Suzanne Carawan, Vice President for Marketing and Communications at NAIFA National. Welcome to NAIFA Indiana this month.
Oh, thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Suzanne, we have a pretty big event coming up this month.
We certainly do. So I hope that everybody has put on their calendar to mark out October 6th through 8th for our 2020 Performance Plus Purpose Conference. This year is a little bit different. We were not able to go to Boston, unfortunately, to celebrate our 130th anniversary together. But instead, we have completely pivoted, as only NAIFA can do. And we have put together a really power-packed, very short session that's October 6th, so 12 to 3 each day, 7th and 8th, and allows you to really have a truncated but incredibly impactful time together that we can look to explore and expand in our professional development areas. And so each day starts with an inspirational keynote speaker. We have Liz Murray, we have Morris Morrison, and we have Jason Dorsey. All three are going to be fantastic. Each one of those is then followed by kind of a choose your own experience for how you want to actually engage within NAIFA Performance Plus Purpose this year. So this is not going to be just another Zoom meeting where you have to sit passively there. This is a bring your ideas, be interactive. And so for each session, we have actually pulled together either interactive activities, workshop, breakouts with the actual speakers, etc., or some sort of activity to get your juices flowing and be able to still have that camaraderie that we are not able to have this year, at least in person. So example of that, come to the keynote speaker, and then you have a choice. Do I want to go to the virtual book signing and meet the author, meet the speaker, and talk and get your book signed? Or do I want to actually go into a discussion room to talk about these ideas that we just were able to have? We have short breaks built in, but then we have breakout sessions. And in those breakout sessions, they're composed of 30 minutes of topic-based type of content, followed by a 20 to 30-minute interactive session. We might be virtually whiteboarding together. We might be virtually moving things around the screen together. You can go ahead and suggest and write love notes to NAIFA or suggest your own best book that you want to put on the bookshelf. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be very impactful, very powerful, and you will be able to get out of there from 12 to 3, but really refreshed. And one new thing that I want to mention that we've added on to Performance Plus Purpose this year, we have just announced this week that we have a future leaders component. It is brought to us by our partners at Cambridge Investment Research. And what this is doing is allowing us to actually invite university students either at the undergraduate or graduate level to come in, and we have a power-packed session for 1 hour on the morning of Tuesday, October 6th. And we have the likes of Chris Gandy, Delvin Joyce, a power-packed YAT panel, including our 2019 YAT Leader of the Year, Cheryl Canzanella, speaking. Brian Haney will be there, all talking about different aspects of why you should go into the financial services industry. The students are then allowed to get a free pass for the duration of Performance Plus Purpose, and they wrap up at the end with an interactive discussion talking about what they've learned, how they can reflect, and again, hopefully we've convinced them all with our NAIFA magic that they too want to become a financial advisor or agent. That whole program is open to any university or student that would like to participate, and that's now available. You can find that on our Talent Development Center. And so with that, those are some of the big key components that are happening this year at Performance Plus Purpose. We are excited. I myself have a session called Spend, Stream, and Seem Like a Digital Advertising Pro. So we're looking at pragmatic views, inspirational keynotes, and really getting into 4 tracks: advanced practices, sales and marketing, prospecting, and looking at some of the other aspects there within the inspirational kind of revitalization to keep you on your toes as we get locked down for the rest of Q4. So again, I know that NAIFA-Indiana will do a great job. As a matter of fact, speaking of events, I'm pretty sure that NAIFA-Indiana has an annual meeting coming up, and I would very much like to hear more about that because I'd love to swing by and be part of that. Really applaud you guys over the last couple of months. You really have risen to the top of being one of the top states in what you're able to do with your virtual meetings, your videography, your social media. So again, I'm all ears. Would love to hear more about that, and let me know how it goes. We'd love to be a part of it.
Thank you, Suzanne. Yes, we can't get together in person this year, but we're still having our annual meeting December 9th at 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. to elect new officers and inform our members of developments for our organization. We can't gather because of the pandemic, but we're going to make this as interactive as possible and hope to get good online attendance.
I know just like National, you'd rather be together, but NAIFA-Indiana has been one of those leaders in developing the virtual meetings. I'm sure it's going to be a great success because everything you guys do is as such. So I'd love to again pop in, see how things are going. And as always, you know you have our support because strong state, strong nation.
You're always welcome, Suzanne. I look forward to seeing you at P+P this month, at least virtually.
Oh, same here.
Our next guest is Carol Golden, Executive Director of the Limited and Extended Care Planning Center. Thanks for joining us, Carol.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm very excited about November being Long-Term Care Month. And for NAIFA, we'll be having a live event, but it'll be a week event. We'll be starting on Tuesday, November 11th, and it'll run through Thursday, November 13th, each day from noon to 3 p.m. because we know we have a lot of people who are in the West. So we want to make sure that they can join as well. Kickoff is Tuesday, November 11th with the Leadership Forum, and it'll be hosted by our CEO, Kevin Mayo. And including in that kickoff session, we will have the executive panels, and it'll be One America, Nationwide, and Lincoln Financial Group MoneyGuard. The afternoons, the next session, I should say, that afternoon will be a worksite long-term care session. And we have a very major carrier in that space, along with two brokers who both are very successful in selling, explaining, and using worksite long-term care to grow their business and to enhance their businesses. We're going to close out that day, Tuesday, with a Future Leaders session. Now, the next day, Wednesday, November 12th, again at noon, we will have a power-packed session on hybrid combo linked benefit products. And we're featuring Steve Kane as our moderator. He will have a panel including representation from Pac Life, One America, Securian Financial, and Nationwide. Following that will be a session on alternate solutions because not everyone is insurable and some people want to hear about other solutions. So we will be featuring reverse mortgages, which have come a very long way in terms of regulation and product. Wednesday is Veterans Day, and we will be listening to an LECP specialist tell us about the benefits that are available to our vets. And he'll also cover some of the important Medicare rules and changes as it influences long-term care. Thursday, November 13th, we're pleased to announce that our own Ryan Berry is putting a powerful, informative, innovative session together. The topic will be technology. And that'll be followed by our own Diane Boyle offering an advocacy update. We'll close out the day with some news and information from our NAIFA partners. There will be a report on that industry survey on LTC, which NAIFA is one of the co-founding sponsors. Life Happens will also record a session for us, and we hope to have a message from ACLI. So throughout the month of November, we're going to be offering pertinent short videos and presentations to add to that impactful LECP NAIFA November Long-Term Care Month. Quite a mouthful, but very exciting. And before I finish, I also want to mention that NAIFA National has a national contract with Certified in Long-Term Care, the CLTC designation, which, as we all know, is the premier designation in long-term care. We are offering a discount at NAIFA National, and we are also running monthly courses. For those individuals who pass the exam, complete the course, they can earn between 8 and 12 CE credits. And I understand that NAIFA-Indiana is planning its own LTC Awareness Month, aren't you?
Yes, Chris Barnhouse is teaching the 5-hour long-term care insurance renewal CE at our association headquarters November 19th. He's taught this course all over the state, but he's a little nervous about this one. You're a hard act to follow.
He needn't be nervous. You know, I've known Chris for years, and Chris is passionate about long-term care. He's also one of the most knowledgeable people on the topic that I know. To say nothing also, he's a superb communicator as well. I wish I could be there.
You can. While we're strictly limiting in-person attendance, there are unlimited opportunities to attend virtually. It's free for NAIFA members, and it's good for 5 hours of life, health, and long-term care insurance CE in Indiana. And if November 19th doesn't work for you, we have a video of the 5-hour renewal CE available at our association headquarters. You can take it anytime by calling the association headquarters at 317-844-6268. I've attended Chris's classes, and I can tell you, live, virtually, or on video, these are the best long-term care classes I've ever attended.
I think that's really exciting and perfect, frankly, because I think Chris has really developed a national reputation for long-term care advocacy. So I might just drop in.
Carol, how do you access all the information regarding your week of events in November regarding Long-Term Care Awareness Month?
Well, I'm sure that our marketing and communications team is going to be sending out lots of information, notifications, and how to access. And I know that it will be posted on the LECP site, which is at NAIFA.org under Centers.
Thank you for joining us, Carol.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
In addition to our long-term care CEs, we also have a 2-hour virtual CE October 8th on 2 interesting planning topics by David Hulstrom. November 12th, David McKnight will give us his extremely popular presentation, The Power of Zero. And on December 10th, Bill Cates will present a 1.5-hour virtual CE titled Radical Relevance. Register for any of our CE classes or Performance Plus Purpose by going to our website, NAIFA-Indiana.org, and clicking the links. Join us next month for a special Veterans Day edition when we will be highlighting the life and career of longtime NAIFA member and retired Marine Corps Major General Dean Sangalis. In the meantime, stay safe, and remember, even though we can't meet in person this year, we are still united in our purpose, and together we can take on anything.
I am NAIFA-Indiana.
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 Yo soy NAIFA-Indiana.
I am NAIFA-Indiana.
We are NAIFA-Indiana.